Welcome back, everybody, to the Castlevania Ravenloft RPG. The last we left our adventurers, they had seen Strahd at the end of one of our side-scrolling adventures. They battled through a whole underground river of fishmen. They were greeted at the end with Strahd. Would anybody like to say anything before I jump into the game here?
We're all gonna die.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, you can see the ferryman is
Toothless.
the ferryman is rowing up swiftly to the shore. He's about to connect and let you guys out. As you're approaching, you see Strahd up there with Carmilla. Do you guys want to talk to each other real quickly before you dock?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational.
For rations?
For rational thought.
Yeah.
Terrified for rations. You know, I'll do anything
Yes.
for a Scooby snack.
Yep. Alex is hungry.
Oh, wait. Probably find some warm meat.
I might need that later.
Well, you have 11 wound points now. You might be able to slash a stalactite or something and grab some wall meat before you get started. Unless that's a bonus. That's a bonus action, right? You can always do that in combat.
It is, yeah. I can do that on a...
Okay. Alright, guys. So the boat's about to dock. Anybody else have anything to say?
Well, Elias just solemnly nods and closes his eyes and says aloud, just loud enough that the others can hear, "Well, Jack was right."
I
We'll
fold
just
my
get-
arm. Sorry, go ahead.
Alright, well the
Alexander
ferry...
glances immediately to Carmilla.
Yes, you do see Carmilla as the ferryman docks the boat. He doesn't say anything in reply. He's just stony and silent there. And each of you begin to step onto the shore. Anyone like to do anything immediately? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and describe the area.
Stay on the boat
You can if you want.
and knock it off.
Stay on the ceiling, I guess.
Alex is going to slowly approach Carmilla and give her a look, see if she's all right.
Oh, not so quick. They're a good distance away. Let me go ahead and describe the area then, if no one has any immediate actions they want to do. Brent?
No, I don't.
Okay. Alright, just get this all set up over here.
Hmm.
Alright. The boat approaches a cavern room. Pale light penetrates a small and thickly frozen over crack in the ceiling. The light takes your eyes to the sight of a long dead tree on one side of this cave. You notice some tiny ruined hovels built into the wall behind the tree, about where the branches start and higher. At the shore, you see Strahd von Zarovich, awaiting your arrival. He has forced a masked Carmilla down on her knees near the water's edge. Her mask faces you. The left eye of the mask is leaking blood. And Strahd says, "I was beginning to grow impatient. I hope your visit to the Amber Temple was enlightening. Ah, yes. I see quite a few differences in you since we last spoke. Interesting that you would accept such generosities. So I will offer each of you the opportunity of an eternity. Abandon your efforts to diminish my power and join me at Castle Ravenloft."
As your guests or your prisoners, my lord?
As my eternal guests.
And if we refuse that offer?
Then tonight will be your last night. Why is it that since you arrived, I've had trouble finding those that I wish to locate? First Lisa, and now someone named Stella. Where has she gone, And Carmilla growls and shouts for you to mind your thoughts. But you can already tell Strahd.
I haven't the foggiest clue as to where Stella could possibly be, nor Lisa. We've been searching just as you asked us.
Yes. Elias, roll a wisdom save.
Roll what?
A wisdom save.
Okay. Wisdom save. Okay, here we go.
Excellent.
Nicely done.
Elias, you felt Strahd's mind begin to intrude on your own, but you force him out of your mind. Mr. Jeeves, make a wisdom save.
Did he say sure or
He said sure.
12.
Oh, shit.
Well, let me...
I'm good.
Lisa's not a 1.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically he is good. He has no idea where either of them are, so it wouldn't be a lot.
It's true.
Does he not know?
Oh,
Because they... Well, you tell me. Go ahead and tell me why you,
Honestly,
you know that you don't know their location.
well, they're not here with us, so I don't know where
He's just that oblivious.
Well, the truth.
Too busy stealing.
All right. Yeah, actually, Mr. Jeeves, you may be safe. I think that technically ended when it tried to penetrate Elias's thoughts and failed. All right. So, Strahd smiles and says, "Carmilla, why are you so upset?" And he chuckles to himself quietly. And you just hear her hiss, "You bastard." My master will make you pay.
Mike, do we see what this magic circle thing is on the ground over here?
Yes. It's a magic circle that looks much like the one that you found in the cathedral. It looks like some kind of arcane circle that is mixed with some sort of divine symbols. And it is... it looks ancient as Strahd himself. But it looks like it hasn't worn through time naturally. Every bit of it is still clear. It's just that the dust over it has... there's bits of debris here and there over it, but it doesn't seem to scratch or anything those symbols themselves.
So Elias recognizes it as the site that he's looking for.
Yes, you can recognize this instantly as a sacred site, as you're familiar with their purifications. The ritual that would be needed to purify this
Remind me, how long did it take to do it last time? I don't remember.
I think it's something like an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely
That sounds-
nothing you can quickly do within an action.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a ritual that you have to perform.
Okay.
But yeah, you see, Strahd has cruelly grabbed Carmilla's hair and yanked her head back to where her eyes, or the one that she has left, is forced to look up at him as he's teasing her. He says, "Your threats do not worry me. Why do you think you're down here? I would love for your so-called master to make an appearance. Perhaps drastic measures are needed." And he produces a longsword and raises it in the air. And in one fell swoop decapitates her head. He kicks her body into the river, and the river begins to glow with dark blood here in the dim light that you can see. And he tosses her head, not into the river, but to the side as you see it roll with its mask. A little blood trail being left behind. And then he turns his attention back to you. Your presence in my land has been very entertaining. I would say even challenging in some tangential way, as you have severed one of my fanes of power. I commend you for dealing with my preparations. But now I must directly intervene.
Is it not enough that we've alleviated your boredom, my lord?
It is not enough when you seek to sever my power. So this is your last chance. You were invited to Castle Ravenloft. And if you leave and go there, I will know it. And I will attend to you shortly. Or, if the time is words for past, have at you.
Elias crosses his arms and watches the rest of the party as he's ready to fight whenever.
Whatever.
Oh,
Elias
Christ.
gives no shits.
Elias, roll a perception check.
Okay. And he also is momentarily disturbed, but not entirely bothered by the Carmilla thing. What'd you say that was, Mike? Wisdom or
Perception.
Perception. Okay.
You can make it with advantage. You're
Okay.
so unaffected, apparently, by the scene. Oh, excellent. Okay. Yeah, you'll get a little bit more description than I intended. So, you know
Wait, why
those
didn't it...
those tiny little houses that were kind of built into the cave wall above the or kind of like at branch level and higher from the tree. It's like all of these ancient little hovels. It looks like maybe long ago it may have been some kind of village for little creatures. And with that roll, you actually get to see a lone remnant of that long lost village. A tiny woman with wings peeking out of one of the domiciles, and she looks fascinated by the little fairies that are with you.
Hmm.
Very familiar.
Before you go any further, Mike, let me do that roll again because it was incorrect.
Yeah, it was supposed to be with advantage. I think you just doubled.
Yeah, there's 2 dice instead of advantage.
Oh, well, fine. I mean, it doesn't matter now. You've got the best description of it you get, so I'm just going to give that one to you, man.
It's still
Okay.
17 plus 6, though, right? So that's still 23.
Yeah, that'd be 23 anyway. Okay, so Elias takes notice of the fairy, and something to do with the fairies I was gonna write out much later as like a out of character thing in the Facebook group, but I'll explain that later and on. But Elias kneels down next to the fairy and takes intent on noticing her, completely blowing off Strahd as he does that. And so he kneels down and says, "Hello there. I see you have made friends with the elemental spirits.
As soon as you say anything directed in that direction, it hides. Everyone make a perception check. Excellent, Mr. Jeeves. Oh, nice. Even better, Alexandra.
Poor Jack.
Jack. Unfortunately, tonight, Jack will not be with us, but we have our reoccurring guest. Hugo is helping us out, as usual, here lately. So thank you, Hugo, for joining us again. Really appreciate it, man.
Pleasure.
Elias will direct the fairies around him. He can't directly tell them what to do, but if he notices them kind of flitting around the area of where the little cave was, the little, fairy house, he would allow them or kind of show them and have them try to go in after the other one and see if they could find out what the deal is over there.
Well, they're part of your spell. What's that spell?
Spirit Guardians.
Okay. And are they something that you can command like that?
Let me make sure.
But with those... Oh, go ahead.
Go. Tell me, my lord, why the search for this woman named Stella? I thought you were searching for Lisa.
Yes. And Lisa is still an interest to me, as you are, my dear. But Stella would have been fun to play with. Watching Carmilla squirm was keeping me busy while I was waiting for your arrival.
As fun as Gertrude.
Gertruda was naive. She did not understand the world outside of her mother's house. It was boring to have to babysit someone like that. However, someone like Stella may prove interesting. I will seek her out in my spare time, but I have other priorities at the moment.
You did know that just a few short days prior she was criminally insane.
I've never met the girl, but I hope to meet her soon.
When we found her, she believed she was a real cat, covered in her own hissing and meowing at everyone that came by.
Yeah, she was of the Watcher House, I believe.
Yes, and her mind was addled horribly by this horrible son of Baron Valak.
Oh, he's not so bad once you get to know him, I'm sure. But the Watcher House, what a shame. Such a great house of nobility in Vallaki. I thought that they were set to rule.
I don't think the Baron would have given up his reign that easily.
You underestimate my followers. Lady of the house there was quite a fan of mine.
Be that as it may, it took her life to restore mine.
That is unfortunate. Maybe her daughter will play a bigger role in the future of Vallaki than she did. When I find her, I will make sure that she finds a good place.
What are your intentions for her, if you don't mind my asking?
Vallaki needs someone that can keep me entertained there. I like to gain access occasionally, and the Watchers have been very useful in the past. Much like the Coffin Maker has been. But you know all about that now.
Yes, unfortunately. She turns and glares at Jeeves. That was all just a very unfortunate incident.
Yes, but you've become quite familiar with the old adventuring party that I have taken under my wings. It was them that you also saw at the Amber Temple that alerted me that your presence there was very close to what I assumed you were seeking here. You failed to finish them off. With those perception rolls earlier, everyone is able to see several mermen and fishmen.
Oh, great.
You can't tell exactly how many there are, but you can see there's at least 4 of them. They don't appear to really be hiding all that much. Just peering around your current location through the stalagmites, it was hard to see them without a good perception roll, but you can see, and you're pretty confident that that's probably about as many that are here now. Even if you were to leave and go to the castle, I have no guarantees that you won't just return here. I think it's best we end this now. And I thank you for all of the entertainment that you've provided up to this point.
Are you truly so worried about losing your power? Are you that concerned about facing us?
These sites have been important to me for a long time. And just like the other one that you've messed up, it will take just as long to try to gain that power back. This is not simple
But you
magic
could
you
gain
tamper
it
with
back.
here. Yes, and I
No,
fully
it
intend
isn't.
to.
Then what harm would it be to let us disable these sites and fight you on even playing ground?
Even playing ground. Do you think that you could ever have even playing ground to me?
Then why so concerned over these sites, my lord?
Why so concerned that you need what they provide to me?
I bear no concern. My companions do.
Oh, yes. Those who are so afraid they can't even speak for themselves. I'm sure they are concerned. And he steps back from the edge of the river. And he puts his sword away. And then he looks down his nose at you and says, "Enough talk. Have at you." And everyone roll initiative.
Fuck it, I tried.
Yeah, I don't know what you could have really done there.
Relax, you rolled twice.
Did I?
Oh, you
Oh,
bastard.
I did. Huh. Yeah, I got a 20 the first time. Huh.
My muscles are ready.
I'll give you the 20. All right. So you guys can tell Strahd's not much for talk. His offer for the going to the castle wasn't immediately accepted, so Jack, you're first to go. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I would like to cast Mirror Image.
All right. It's funny you say that because Strahd cast Mirror Image just as he put his longsword away. So now there's 4 total Strahds and 4 total Jacks.
Ooh. Face off.
Yep.
So how are we doing this then? Are we doing a 1d4 to determine if
Determine what? Oh no, it's
determine
in the spell description for Mirror Image.
It's I think it's a me.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know, but like to determine if we hit the correct one, is it a 1d?
You can read the spell description if you'd like. It's your turn though, Alex. Unless Jack wanted to move somewhere. Jack, I'm going to say you're in human form now, and you've picked up all your gear out of the boat, out of the ferry, and have... you don't really don clothes. You're pretty comfortable just being in your cloak now.
Okay.
But yeah, you can move if you'd like.
Let's see, I'll get into a more suitable position. Can be right here, right?
Yeah, and if you wanted to target those fishmen with spells, you can see them. If anyone wanted to target them with ranged weapons, they would have 3/4 cover.
Okay.
All right, Alex, it is your turn.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to have an altercation here. I was hoping you'd give us a little more time to finish
To finish your what now?
our search.
Yes, well, I don't think that you'll find what you're looking for here, and yet here you came. Don't worry, Alexandra. I will treat you well in the afterlife.
We shall see, my lord. And she immediately summons the sunlight from her whip.
All right. Once you do, you see Strahd's face tighten in pain, and you get to see the full length of Strahd's fangs. You can tell that the sunlight is hurting him. Now, how far does that cast daylight? I think it's up to what, 60 feet?
Yeah.
I think it'll be effective throughout this area.
Bright light in 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15.
Okay, so yeah, I think it covers everything here in sunlight.
Yeah.
Right, it's no longer considered dim light when it's within a 15-foot radius of you, though. So that's important for Jack to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is a free action to ignite the sun. So what else would you like to do with your action? Or with your round?
Another chance, my lord. We don't have to do...
But I want to, my dear. I've
Then
been
so
looking
be it.
forward to this for so long.
Then so be it.
All right, that's a hit.
And plus the extra d8 because he's undead.
Okay.
And she's actually going to... Yeah, I'm not gonna use any of my combat superiority dice yet.
That's a hit. Okay.
Cool.
Anything else?
Yep. Is there a stalactite nearby?
Yeah, there's a small one on the ground that looks like it might suspiciously house wall meat, if that's what you're asking.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good. And
Just enough.
you slash your the scourge, the multi-headed whip, blazing with sunlight, into Strahd several times, and you watch those wounds instantly heal, which is disturbing to you since he's a vampire.
It's radiant damage.
Yes, it is radiant damage. And
And
also, when you look at him in his eyes to see what the hell that's all about with that healing up that way, the look on his face just sets your mind reeling back to when you accepted a gift at the Amber Temple. And as your eyes meet, I would like you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Great. Oh.
Excellent.
Whew.
Yes, for a moment there you felt a bit of despair. All right. So that is your turn. Good job. Yes.
Your turn,
Lice.
priest.
All right. That's pretty cool having some wall mate in the boss room. Haven't seen that before against vampire.
Hey, Alex
But,
has new tricks.
Yeah, that's an old trick.
No, yeah, but I mean, she's bringing something new to the whole genre here, putting wall meat in
The
boss
perks
rooms.
for being not a real Belmont.
And you have, by the way, if you've ever played Castlevania and fought a couple of mummies.
Yeah.
Okay, Elias gets right here,
Okay.
and he pulls out something that the party has only seen maybe briefly once before, in the temple. It is a J-shaped holy symbol. It almost looks kind of like a snorkel, and he holds it aloft like he normally would his other holy symbols, and he speaks some words and presents it forward to Strahd, and he finishes his prayer with an amen, emphatically, and Strahd needs to make a DC 15 saving throw. Wisdom.
Dude, if he doesn't make that, I'm gonna laugh.
For a second there, you see Strahd cringe at the symbol and then slowly turn his gaze to you and give you a toothy smile.
So he made it, I assume.
Strahd is no normal undead, but you're not sure why that failed.
Yeah, something weird is going on here. He noticed the same thing that happened with Alex, the whip not doing any damage. That took him by surprise as well.
It did damage, just for some reason healing, which is confusing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Elias and Alexander's weapons were assumed to be, if anything would hurt him, it would be those two.
Right.
The Sorrowful Misery and the Spear of Longinus. But okay, so he does that. Elias seems disappointed, but it does not seem he's going to falter. And he puts it away, holds his ground, and raises his shield, stands where he's at. And he's within 15 feet of Strahd. So when Strahd starts his turn, he'll roll for the Spirit Guardian's damage.
When it's Strahd's
Alright,
turn?
James.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's Strahd's turn. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to do something.
Alright, that's one snorkel charge.
All right.
And that was for Hold Vampire and not Turn Undead, if anybody was curious.
Hold Vampire, huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was for Turn Undead, but
No, not. I figured that would.
but the saving throw, I made what you wanted me to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Jeeves, it's your turn, and you've noticed that it's kind of confusing to see the shapes of Strahd shift in and out, but you think that there's one less illusionary Strahd now.
Okay. So I can see what, two,
There's three of
three
them.
Strahds?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Alexander has true sight, so she would have been hitting the real one this whole time.
Oh, snap. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so why is he healing, Mike?
Okay, he hasn't healed, but that damage
Okay.
that damage did not hurt him.
Yeah.
There's another factor involved that you guys don't know about. But yeah, that damage that you did healed right up. I haven't taken it off of his combat tracker stuff that you guys haven't seen just because I need to keep track of it until the end of the round. But yeah, something else is fishy here. All of your years of vampire hunting, Sunlight, the badass whip and everything with the magic weapons, trying to hold vampire, you can tell that Strahd is no normal vampire. He's some kind of legendary creature.
Unless something else is protecting him.
Yes.
Maybe he's anchored to the fishmen. Kill.
I don't know. Okay, Jeeves. Like I said, it's confusing to see the number of illusionary images, but you spot that fourth one. Mostly because I thought that Alex had destroyed one anyway, because the whatever protects Strahd isn't protecting his images, and I realized that after Elias had went.
Alright, I'm going to try for a shot with the bow.
Dude, you move to a range where you will not hit me if you roll a 1.
Oh my god.
All right. Let me check here. All right. So you send that arrow right through one of those illusionary images, and it disappears.
So I didn't hit the same one that Alex hit?
Well, I mean, she never really hit one. She knows right where he is. She says, it's this one. But by the time she says, it's this one, they all look like they're still shifting and moving, and you can't keep up with which one's which. It's impossible.
Oh.
It's like mentally and illusionary impossible to tell which one. Except for Alex. Alex has got the benefits along with the terrible things that come along with that gift. And who would have thought that it would have paid off?
So if we... It's mirror image, right? So if we attack the duplicate, then the duplicate is destroyed.
You can't tell if you're attacking a duplicate or not. But you just destroyed one for sure.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's fine.
It'll get easier to narrow it down as they diminish.
Yeah, there should be, what, 2 left now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 fake ones and the real one.
Alrighty.
When I saw that roll, I thought my heart skipped a beat.
Yeah, you better move or let me move before you fire it.
There's 8.
You have a reputation, Mark, with your dice.
No, you got a reputation for being hit.
Yeah. That's one way to look at it. Okay. So, Mr. Jeeves, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so the Fishman. Is it going to show me which one it is? It's this one. Okay. Let's see. It can... Oh, wow. Yeah, it's going to go here. And it's going to cast... where is it? Yeah, this here. At Elias. Oh my god, it actually hit. Elias, you take a fireball from one of these fishmen. It does 16 points of fire damage.
Ooh.
Alright, and then the other fishmen appear to be waiting for something. And then Strahd... Let me see if this is a bonus action or an action. Hold on. Okay, yeah, as a bonus action. Strahd looks completely unaffected by anything at the moment, and he is just going to point at Alexandra and mutter some sort of arcane words, and I need you to make a saving throw. Let me just see what it is first. Where is it? Golly, there's so many spells on this thing. Okay, yeah, make a wisdom saving throw. All right, you don't have inspiration. And is there anything you can do to re-roll that? Do you have anything in your power?
I can give her my inspiration.
You can give her your inspiration. I'll allow that if you want to re-roll it and use Jeeves' inspiration.
Sure. Thank you, Jeeves.
All right. I'm not going to tell you if that worked or not, but I'm going to ask Elias and Jack, are you both willing to give her another roll on that if she wants to take it?
Yeah.
All right. And Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to take someone else's inspiration, or do you want to go ahead and roll with 17? Decisions.
Well, the last time he read her mind, the DC was 17, so...
So you're good?
Tough call. Tough call.
If she takes someone else's inspiration and rolls and gets lower than that, then that will be taken as the one that she gets, correct?
Yeah, it's a re-roll. Yeah, so if she rolls lower, yes, that would count as lower.
So she could get less than 17. I think
Right.
I'd go with it then.
Well, it's her decision, but you guys can give your opinions. I'm not going to give mine.
Oh, no, it's up to you guys. I don't want to waste your inspiration, but...
Just throw the whip this way if you feel weird.
That doesn't help me in the slightest, but I think I will... You offered them, so I'm gonna...
You're going to take them? You're going to re-roll?
Yeah.
All right. You're taking Brent's first.
God damn it.
I guess you don't want to stick with that. Brent, lose your inspiration, and then go ahead and make one for Jack.
You know, you never did give me a perk for finding this music.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Okay.
A
There's
20. Okay. Yeah, you're confident that the 20 is going to work. I just won't even beat around the bush there.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm going to remove inspiration from Elias since he hasn't done it.
Yeah, I can remove mine.
All right.
Thanks.
You feel your body start to change, and then in your mind you get the image of a turtle. And then you snap out of it, and you're yourself again.
Turtle.
She just raises a brow at Straw.
Animal
Really?
speak.
Yes, really. All right, let me see what else he does here, if anything.
Is he just ignoring the spirit guardians completely, or is that not...
Oh, you said that's something that happens on his turn, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we need to do?
Wisdom saving throw.
All right, and what's the effect of this thing?
If he succeeds, it's half damage. If he fails, full damage.
All right, So he needs to do wisdom saving throw. This huge character sheet he's got here.
I believe it.
Wisdom saving throw. Alright, what does he need to make? Because he rolled. What does it need to be? The DC?
Probably Alliance's standard DC, I believe, is. Let me look at my notes. Unless it's changed, it should be 16.
Okay, he failed.
That doesn't sound right, though. I think it should be higher than 16. 16 now.
Either way, he failed.
Yeah.
Let me just double check on. Let's see. Mirror image. Each time a creature targets you with an attack. Is that a?
It's not a targeted attack. It's an area of effects.
You're right. You don't have to roll to hit, do you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, then there's no need for him to worry about his duplicates. Alright, so full damage, 17? Or
Wait, what?
more?
It's 21. My mouse is fucked up. That's what happened. It should be 21.
Okay. It applied the damage correctly, at least. It only says 21. Alright, and at the end of your move, or at the end of your turn, Brent, you see Strahd do something pretty crazy.
Well, it's not my turn. It's his turn still.
Oh, it's his turn. Okay. In that case, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, so that's it for Strahd's turn. Good job. Everyone survived the first turn. Now the merman.
Thanks.
Yeah, we just used all our inspiration dice. We're good.
Yeah.
The merman is going to cast something on Alexandra. I need you to make a wisdom save.
My God, stop.
Oh, 3?
God damn it.
Okay, you feel like your body tenses up. Everything about you just kind of like goes slack. Let me be double sure here. You are paralyzed, and this is what was used on you, so I'll just go ahead and throw that out. You're suffering 2 status elements. Because I think with come on, Mike, where's paralyzed? Oh, there they are. Conditions. Paralyzed creature is incapacitated, so that's the other one. Incapacitated means you can't take actions or reactions. You can't move or speak. You automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against you have advantage. Any attack that hits you is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet.
Oh, yes, good.
Alright. So, the other fishman that was holding his turn, he is going to begin a full run. Which, hilariously, is that far.
Wow.
And the other fishman, he is going to take a full run. So he's going to be right here.
They're both going to take Spirit Guardian damage.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On their turn?
Late now.
They ran right into it, so go ahead and we'll need to resolve that immediately.
So they're gonna make it's a DC 17. I made sure. So they're gonna have to roll for that.
Okay, so DC 17 will, what is it, wisdom save?
Wisdom, yeah.
All right, and that's this one. Let's see, wisdom. You said it's, what was the DC? I'm sorry. I know you just said
17.
it. 17. No, they both failed.
All right.
So 2 damages on him. Go ahead and just throw it right on.
Hold on. My mouse won't like hold. Hold on. Don't apply that to anything.
Do you have a sticky mouse?
Yeah, I do. Okay, here's Netflix Man
Oh yeah, heavy damage.
and to the Fireball Fish Man.
Okay. Yeah, those guys look really hurt by that. Good call. Very good call, sir. All right. It is a new round, and it is Jack's turn.
All right.
Kill the cleric.
Not me, the other one.
Not our cleric.
Oh, okay.
He has 3/4 cover, but you can target him with the spells from there. 3/4 cover from ranged attacks.
You could also move.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will move here.
Seriously, take that thing out and I'm fine.
I am going to use Eldritch Blast on the cleric merman.
Ooh, good call. He'll have to make concentration check.
Is it a concentration?
Yep, duration, concentration. Up to 1 minute, but it's concentration based, so.
Yep.
Holy crap. Haha, nat
Unless
1.
it rolls a 1.
Wow.
That was for Eldritch Blast, right? Yeah. So
the
you
first
get
beam,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, you get one more ray, buddy. Even though it's a horrible roll. Okay, so that does a hit. So roll damage. All
Ooh,
right.
max damage.
Yeah. All right. So for concentration, it's the greater of either half the damage, which would be 7, or 10. And I believe it's a Constitution check. Yeah.
Constitution, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Come here, cleric.
You can make Elias do that same thing whenever you want to, Mike. Because Spirit Guardians is concentration too.
Hey, as long as you don't cast another spell that needs concentration, such as Hold Vampire.
Yeah.
Did you cast? Is Hold Vampire a concentration spell? Because that would have canceled your Guardians.
Well, that was a charge from the item, so I wouldn't think so.
Okay, then. Good point. Good point. I don't know about that, man. No, I think it would count. I'll tell you what. You can either... Well, no, let's see. How would that work? You can remove the damage from the 2 fishmen, or... No, let's just go with how it is. We'll just... I didn't catch it then, it's fine. But any other casting of a concentration spell will cancel another one, even if it's from like a magic wand or anything.
Okay. It doesn't even say on here that Hold Vampire is concentration. It just describes the spell.
Okay, that's fine. It's just that Hold Monster is, so I figured... Or Hold Person is.
Let me see if I can find that.
Well, Hold Person is an actual spell. It's not a charge from a weapon.
Hold Vampire. 5e.
I've never even heard of Hold Vampire.
Yeah, I think that's unique.
Is it not
to
a
this
real
item.
spell?
No.
Yeah, okay. That's weird. Sorry, man, I hadn't seen that description of that item in God knows how long. So the Merman Cleric made it save by 1 point. So unfortunately its concentration
Damn it.
save It made it by 1 point. But that was an excellent tactical move, and I'm sorry it didn't work for you. It almost did. It came really, really close.
I use my bonus act.
Okay. What
I
you
will
doing?
like to use a hex
On...
on Strahd.
Okay. And which ability score?
Let's see.
Strength.
Really?
I think strength or wisdom would be good. That's everything I do is wisdom.
Well, strength is my trip attack and all that, so.
Well, let's see if we can go with, let's go with wisdom.
Okay, with wisdom it is then. He'll get a disadvantage on wisdom checks, and you'll do an extra d6 of damage with whenever you hit him.
Okay. So let's see, how do I apply? Just hit effect?
You drag the effect over to the creature you want to affect. Okay. Does he get a DC save against that hex, though? Or is it just automatic?
I don't think anything's gotten a saving throw against Hex before.
Let's see, it's,
I don't believe so either.
I think Hex just works like Hunter's Mark, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Alright, Alex. It is your turn, but you are paralyzed.
And I get a wisdom saving throw at the end of my turn, which it technically is the end of my turn if I can't do anything, so.
Is Hex the end of Jack's turn? Is that an action?
And I made it. No
Hex
longer
is-
paralyzed.
Hex is one bonus action.
Okay, so you can still do something though.
Hold on.
No. I already took my turn.
He already made his action to cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh, just blast. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you guys skipped over a little too quick. Strahd has a legendary action he can do,
Yes.
and he can do so right after Jack does his.
And Jack can move as well if he wants to.
Yeah, I moved.
You already
He moved
declared it
to
was
it.
my turn.
Well, Strahd gets legendary actions, so he's going to use one.
Legendary action.
Yeah. Otherwise, he'd just be some lame vampire, right?
Well, he's far more than that already. We can't even hurt him.
You know, since you went ahead and made your saving throw, I'll do something that won't affect Alex. How about that?
Fine.
All right. You see Strahd move at a blinding speed. He's gone for a second, and then you notice he popped up somewhere else. Let me just make sure it's up to his movement speed. Yeah, it is.
His movement speed is halved when he's within range of me.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Within your guardian's range?
Yep.
Huh.
Man, you're full of surprises.
Hey, you're the one that's been telling us this whole time to strategize, Mike, okay?
I know. Moving out of Alex's range, he does it so quick that you don't even have time to react.
Sentinel.
So let's see, that's
Dude, Mike, Sentinel.
5, 10.
He can't.
What do you mean?
Sentinel.
What about Sentinel? He can move in between, right after Jack's turn.
Disengage doesn't work.
It's not disengage.
It's just a regular movement?
What? When
No.
you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the...
Yeah, but he's legendary.
It's a legendary action.
Yeah. And it doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Like, you see that he moved. It wasn't like a teleport, but it happened so quick, you'd notice that it was like Like when you're trying to catch a fly, it's just so quick that you wouldn't be able to do anything. Unless you have chopsticks and you're Miyagi. And then you can. Okay, so let me check something else real quick. This is going very well for you, by the way. I would say. All right, so Alex, you made your save, and that's the end of your turn, correct?
Yep.
All right. Then Strahd gets to do another legendary action.
Oh boy.
How much range is it from you, Elias, that he only moves at half speed?
15.
So he's away now, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Or at least mostly.
Actually, he's just in range
Just
still.
in. Okay, but only the first couple of feet will count towards half. So I'm gonna say he can move minus 5 feet from his normal.
Yeah, it says the speed is halved in the area, so I assume that's correct. Yeah.
All right, that's where he's gonna be then. And Elias, you can take your turn now.
Okay.
Fleeing from battle, my lord.
The battle's only just begun. Alex, you get the impression that these two fishmen were just waiting for Hold Monster to work on you, and then they instantly bolted towards you. Unfortunately for them, they're too slow.
They're fucked. Now they're fucked.
I'm going to cast a second level guiding bolt on the Fishman Cleric.
Good call, thank you.
Let me know how that goes, Mike.
It hit.
Okay.
Smack. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. The Fishman Cleric, it looks worried. You think it might run.
It's lucky it's still alive. Elias uses some more movement to get here. Jeeves.
Finish off the cleric.
I'll finish them all off.
All of them. Okay.
Take him out, Toothless.
A boast.
Indeed. Alright. So, I'm going to move a little bit closer. Not much. And then I'm going to summon my hellhounds.
All right.
Can I get a couple figures for my hellhounds?
Yeah, absolutely.
Release the hounds! I assume they're going to be before they're going to go right after me or whatnot.
Mark, are you gonna get within bow range of the thing? Because you're still under 3/4 cover if you stay.
What's the cover? I don't see any cover.
Those rock things right
Those
there.
are stalagmites.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
no.
blocking your vision.
Yeah,
There.
they'll act on your
Electric.
next turn. Let me just make them friendly.
That's better. Yeah, good job.
Oh, wait, so I can't use them this turn?
Well, heck.
Oh, you know what, Mike?
Yes.
We don't have the death salad up here.
No, you don't.
Because it didn't fit in the boat.
That's right.
We didn't take it?
No, it's
No, it
big.
didn't fit in the boat.
We could only fit 3 of us.
Oh, okay.
That's why we don't have Esmeralda,
And Renrickton, yeah.
Finn, and Emil,
Yeah.
too.
Solid, taking a nap.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Hellhounds can act, but it's going to cause an action to... Or it's going to use your action to call them. But yeah,
Actually, you know what?
they'll act on your round. Now.
We could
Okay.
send the boatman back for them and bring them down here.
Oh my god, really?
We really could.
I think he already left.
Give him a
No,
tip.
he's still there.
Okay.
Go get our friends,
Alright.
please.
And you don't see any mermen trying to attack him or anything.
Alright, how can I get the H's on the board?
They're in the combat tracker. You should just be able to hit their little shield or their little...
Alex will legit pay him 100 gold to go get their friends.
Oh my god.
He's looking at you when you're talking to him, but he's not responding.
Yeah, I can't control him, Mike.
Oh, here, does it help if...
H.
Can you move
Okay,
those?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm moving one here, one here.
Are you summoning it in that location, or is it moving to it?
Yeah. That's why I summoned it.
Okay.
Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so did you say that they can go, or?
Yes.
Alright, okay. Well, let's take care of Cleric first then, so... Hellhound 2 is going to make an attack.
Elias is very disturbed.
Yeah, you see this fiery
Clearly.
demon dog just like appear out of nowhere and start doing something to this fish man. What's it doing?
I'm trying to make a dex save.
All right, it failed its save.
Nice.
Woo! Look at all those
Whoa,
dice.
God.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
You could see that the fishman was about to run away, and you just had this helmet hound come in here and toast it.
Fish
It is fish sticks now.
Sushi. Yay!
You just fried it. Holy shit.
So I like my house. Alright, now the other one's going to do the same thing, going west.
Right, now it's a cone,
So-
right? How far does it go?
Yeah, 15 foot.
5, 10, 15-foot cone? Yeah, that can get both
Yep.
of those, absolutely. Just
So
make...
just drop some both.
Yeah, let me do saving throws for each of them. Go ahead and throw that on them.
Wait, you want me to do that?
Yeah, you just like you did earlier.
Yeah, so I thought you said that you were
Okay,
gonna
the first one failed it. And the second one failed its saving throw.
do it.
More crispy fish.
So this damage... Do I have to roll damage for both of them then? I guess I do.
Yeah, roll damage separately.
Oh.
Or yeah, do that for both.
Wow.
Scorch.
Yeah, those... one of them, you can tell, is almost dead. Actually, they both look like they're a couple of points away from dying. They look terrified of your Hellhound, and it looks like they're going to run as well. So you've routed them. All right, good job, dude. At the end of your turn, Strahd's going to do something.
Are these Carmilla's pets?
No, they're mine.
Yours? A
Did
gift of yours, I presume?
Did they have names?
They do?
Hellhound 1, Hellhound 2.
How about Cerberus and Cabera?
All right, there's only one fishman that looks like he wants any bit of this business, and he just saw everybody get torched. That fishman is going to begin
Excuse me,
running.
but where the fuck does Strahd think he's going? He's just like noping the fuck out.
He's
No
just
way.
getting some range for his
He's going
spells.
to the tree.
Oh, that's not good. When he's that far, it can't be good.
I think we
Okay,
should
so the fishman has a problem here. He wants to... Elias, you can tell he wants to get by that hellhound in you, but
Yeah.
he can't. He can't without knowing that he's going to die. So he looks at the other option, which is running past his burnt other two fishmen. And what's he gonna do?
Conundrum.
I think he's
which way
actually.
would he
I think
go?
he's actually. He's in range of spirit guardians too, isn't he?
I think I just moved him a square, but
If
think
he
it was,
enters
like,
the range,
halfway
he is
through.
too.
what is it? 15 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about 15 feet. So go ahead and roll damage. It's its turn.
See if he fails or makes the save.
Oh yeah.
If you're sure that's 15. If you're
Yeah, it's 15. What is it? A wisdom or what?
yeah, wisdom.
It rolled a 14.
Okay, it's probably not long for this world then.
Oh wow, Jesus.
Oh no, it's still on its feet.
No,
That one was
that's-
undamaged though,
Mm.
and the others
Yeah,
just took some
well.
badass hellhound damage, and it's still alive. But yeah, this thing is noping the heck out of that area, and it's gonna try to run. Let's see, this way,
It-
and then
You
it's
could go back
gonna.
where Strahd is.
No, it's not going to go where Strahd is. It's going to stand right there and horf a fire. Well, not a fireball, but a fire bolt at. Let's say. Well, it was told Alex was the priority. So. Are you behind a whole bunch of people? No, I can see you. It basically falls over on itself and is laying
Got a
down
one.
prone
Oh,
in
I
this
almost feel
sacred
bad
symbol.
for
Yeah, you can
Wow.
tell it's freaking out. All right, and then the other two fishmen, they barely have any hit points left, and they throw up their hands like they just give up, and they start to run towards
Oh,
Elias.
Strahd's not going to be too happy about that.
All right, so they look like they're like pleading as they're running. I don't think that the Hellhound is going to give a shit. So I need you to have Hellhound 1 attack the one that just moved past Elias.
If that doesn't kill them, Spirit Guardians hits them too.
If that, it's going to kill him. It's going to kill him. Just a regular bite attack from the Hellhound, Mr. Jeeves, to net Fishman.
All right. Wait, what? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
get-
The one
totally
right next
missed
to
that.
Elias.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
critical
it's
hit. Yeah, it doesn't get
It's
that far at
definitely
all.
dead.
You guys see the fishmen start to freak out and run away, and then this demon dog just grabs onto its arm and starts yanking it around and actually rips the arm off of the fishman, and you hear it squeak like a catfish out of water. It's dead. So net fishman is done, and the other one knows it has like no chance out of here, so it's just gonna blow a fireball, or not a fireball, but a fire bolt at Alexandra. Come on. Plop. Instead of throwing a fireball at that,
Oh no!
it hits the demon dog in the face with it, and who is
Oh,
immune to fire completely. And the demon dog just looks at the fishman and growls, and you see the fishman visibly pee itself.
The fish out of water just made its own.
Yeah, okay, so Strahd's gonna go now. Okay, this isn't like a ranged attack. It just happens. Let me just mark the spell he's using here in his spell slot. I'm not used to having magic casters. It takes me a little while. Sorry. All right, Alex. I need you to make a save. What save is it? So many things here. Where's what I'm looking for? Where the heck is it? I know it's right in front of my face. Oh, okay. It's way down here. Jeez, if you guys could see the length of this. That's what she said. Constitution saving throw, Alex. Excellent. You made it successfully, and you will take half as much of this.
Oh,
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah. You feel necromantic energy wash over you, and you can see Strahd just point his finger in this bolt of energy. Just encompasses your whole form, and he says, "Blight." And you take 27 points of necrotic damage.
Jesus.
Um,
That was half?
yeah.
yeah, we're fine.
Jeez.
Take him out.
And then he's going to use his move to just get in the corner over here, far away from everyone.
No, we can corner him.
All right. New round. Jack, it is your turn.
Hey, Logan's
Logan's here?
Hey.
Not really.
Hey, man.
We're wondering why counterspell wasn't used on the last thing.
Well, I know why. You're not here to use it. I don't know how many of those you got, man, so I don't want to just, like, use it. It's best that you play your character. That's why it wasn't used. So I'm glad you're here. Can you see what's
If he's
going
not
on?
Hex him now.
He's hexed. They chose to hex his wisdom. But that hasn't really come into play yet, so if you want to change that, you can.
Nope.
Okay. You sure? Vampires are huggy.
Well, especially after Elias's hold vampire spell earlier.
Well, he's huggy, but he's very far away from us right now. Five, 10, 15, 20.
Why is that not a measurement? Oh, it is. It's 50 feet. He's 50 feet away from Jack at the moment.
Okay, did you do the thing I asked with the acid bubbles?
I didn't quite understand it, but I know you do, so you can do that. I approved the acid thing.
Essentially it just meant, if it's not there, it's not there. It would just be swapping that spell out for invisibility, which I would have done at the last level up because I haven't used it since then.
That's fine. That's fine.
Meaning, at this point, if you can use Lightning Bolt, I'm not sure if you can, use Lightning Bolt, and it's acid damage instead of lightning.
Okay. So you want to cast that at Strahd right now?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna look up Lightning Bolt. Would you mark Hugo on his spell slots that he's used?
Yeah.
A level 3 spell, unless you want to cast it at something higher. It increases by like D6, I think, for every slot above third. Jack.
What? What?
So
Did you want to cast it as its natural level or at a higher level?
I can only do the natural level at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot
So he
your
has
split
to-
split class. All right, so
He has to
yeah,
third
one third level spell slot. And the DC for your saving throws, I think, is 18, correct? Yeah, it is. I see it in your notes. All right, so Strahd, make a dexterity saving throw. All right. It looks like he has succeeded on his throw. And you will do half damage. Which, on Lightning Bolt, too many windows up here. Where is it? There it is. Come to the front. So I can read you. Alright, that's 8d6 lightning damage, but it's acid damage, so... 2, 3, 4... Is it... Can I just drag that? Why can't I just drag that? Oh well, I'll just roll it manually. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, 8. Alright, so 8d6 and half. Alright, so 16 points of acid damage. And fortunately, Fantasy Grounds is nice with dropping damage. There we go. Okay.
What effect do we see happen to Strahd when that spell occurs?
You do see damage now, unlike before. In fact, that's not the first time that you saw damage. He took damage from your guardians.
Okay, it was just a whip attack then.
Yeah, it was just that first attack for some mysterious reason.
Damn it.
Oh, I think I know what it
okay.
is then.
Do you? I'd like to hear
Yeah.
your theories.
You want me to tell you right now or send it to you?
No, just tell me.
I think it's from their handshake.
No comment, one way or the other. I wouldn't tell you. I honestly wouldn't tell you if you guessed it right.
Rob me of my damn glory.
I'm just gonna leave all that alone. All right, Jack. Did you want to make any movement? You're at a relatively decent position for a magic assault, but do remember that you have.
Feet.
Huh?
Keep me within 60 feet of him.
All right. You're gonna move past some fishmen, but you can tell they are absolutely not gonna take a swipe at you. They are literally pissing themselves.
Good.
All right. So let's see.
Good.
You actually are within 60 feet already. You're within 50 feet. And I know why you want to be in 60 feet, and
You're
and
so
Strahd does
boss.
too.
So, boss, you don't even have to move. You just stand there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Alex, it's your turn. Strahd's not going to use a legendary action right now.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of fucked up AoE spells you've got in store, so I'm not gonna let him take care of that with all of us in one range. So I'm gonna move. That would be my 30 feet.
Okay.
Oh,
How
don't forget
far can she throw?
Depends on what she's throwing.
Holy water?
I'd say the effective range on that is definitely within range there.
Alright, she's gonna check a holy water at him.
Stun lock.
You said he was next, right?
I said he was what?
That Strahd had been
He is
He's been damaged at this point, yes.
Stun lock.
Hex.
Oh, hexed. Yes. Yes. So
Did you
that was an
remember the 1d6 for
additional...
that?
I did not, but I will now.
Thank you.
All right. here. Okay. All right, Alex, you're tossing holy water, right?
Yep.
Stun lock him. Yeah.
It's a miss.
God damn.
Oh.
But the floor ignites in holy watery flames. I don't know how that
I
works.
do get
but-
another attack, so I'm gonna try throwing another one.
No, you get 2 melee attacks as like a full attack action. Oh, no, that's old school stuff I'm thinking about. I actually honestly don't know how
it does
on
not
that.
say melee. It just says you can attack twice. It
Okay,
doesn't say
that's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry.
That's
Full attack isn't a thing in 5th edition. Okay, now that hit. That's an actual hit
Cool.
there. And that's radiant damage too, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in our world, holy water is a bit beefed up. Okay, yeah. Let me make sure that damage actually went on him. Yeah, it did. Automatically.
Question: Does Alex notice anything unusual going on above and around that tree?
I'd have to do perception.
No. This tree looks like the way that the fissure in the ceiling is positioned, which is mostly frozen over with ice. It's it's not mostly. It's solidly frozen over with ice, and there's probably snow above it. The pale light that comes in from that, because it is daytime, it reaches down to that general area, and you think that maybe that was how that tree had once got sunlight. But that tree is old and very dead, and the little houses and things that are up on the cave wall behind it look just as ancient.
Alright,
Okay,
that'll
so-
do it for my turn for now, but the floor is ignited, right? So he's trapped?
No, he's not trapped. In fact, he moves close to you right now.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
He is almost at you in the blink of an eye. Elias, it's your turn.
Okay.
Help.
So no sign or movement of the fairies again ever since that first time.
No. You can roll another perception check to see.
Okay. A question to the north. Can Elias see any further in that direction? What's up there?
Well, let's handle one perception at a time. So let's go with the tree first. The tree and its surrounding little houses and stuff.
Is that going to take my action though?
No. Perceptions are fine. You're not
Okay, hold
searching.
on.
You're just actively looking.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around. Perception. Here we go.
Yeah, you don't see anything in the houses, and then you look to the other side to look at the water there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll a perception. Yeah, you actually spot another cleric, but he looks scared as hell, and he's just barely keeping his head out of the water there to gauge what's going on. It doesn't look like he's going to be coming up. He saw what happened, and he does not want any part of that.
Okay. Let me look at the range of something. Just a second. Uh, 30 feet.
Strahd's probably going to be really pissed with these things.
Well, yeah, they fucking bailed on it.
Okay, so Elias presents his normal, standard, usual holy symbol, and he uses Channel Divinity Preserve Life to restore health to himself and Mr. Jeeves. So similar prayer as last time, just not as with much aggressive fervor as the Hold Vampire attempt. And he heals himself for 30 and Jeeves for 5. So I can apply that myself. And just a second. 30 to me, 5 to Jeeves.
Thank you.
And I will move Let's see. I'm gonna go way the hell up here.
Oh, gee, thanks.
You can actually target that fishman if you want. Just tell me if you want. He's not in the combat tracker at the moment.
Okay, well, if he's right at the water's edge, then he'll probably get hit by the Spirit Guardian, but otherwise I'm good for now.
Okay.
Thanks. Bail on me and leave me at his mercy.
He's not right at the water's edge, but you can see he's not going to come up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so either way, that's fine.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, Strahd suddenly appears behind Alex. Mr. Jeeves, it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see.
Do your duties, Mr. Jeeves.
Right, do my duty. Haha. I'm gonna hold my turn until my dogs have gone.
Go ahead, you can use those now.
Right, they are gonna run up. Well, let's gonna do one at a time. Oh, I didn't do the recharge roll. I'll roll that. Nope. Nope, no recharge for that one. Alright, so that one's gonna take a bite. If it's
Alright, it's a hit. Okay.
alright, and then the other one's gonna come in as well. And probably go right
Good
there.
idea, flanking.
Are we doing advantage for flanking?
No.
I don't know.
What about pack tactics?
They probably
Yeah.
have something like that.
Yeah, pack tactics. Thank you.
Tag tactics.
That's a
attack
hit.
tactic. Oh, I didn't. Oh, it's recharge. I'm gonna roll its
Ooh.
recharge now. But not.
Okay.
That one didn't make it either. Okay. So that's theirs. And then I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot from here.
All right.
Plus-
When these dogs start like biting at Strahd, you can see him just get frustrated and say, "What?"
What?
What is going on?
Oh,
That's
wow.
a hit.
And she's with it.
You get sneak attack.
Oh man, that's gonna be great. If it
Oh
hurts them.
shit.
Yep.
Oh, the bone bow. Damn.
Yep.
She's
666, mark of the devil.
Yeah.
What do you
So
know?
so this dark energy bolt shoots out of Jeeves' newfound bow and strikes Strahd in the shoulder. He looks at you and snaps the arrow, leaving its barb in his shoulder, and tosses the rest of the shaft of the arrow to the ground.
I'm just gonna smile.
Okay.
He's
Um,
back in sunlight range too, by the way. Just I.
He never left sunlight range.
Okay. Well, shouldn't he be taking radiant damage?
What saying he's not? Okay, so the fishmen, they begin squirming towards Elias and running towards his direction.
Not smart.
They have pleading looks on their face. if fishmen can have much of a pleading look, they look
They
pretty
can.
horrific. That's as far as they can get. They're not very fast on land. You notice these things were a lot faster when they were in the water. Alright, so that's their turns. Strahd is behind Alex, and he grazes your neck with his teeth and says, "You're cordially invited to Castle Ravenloft." And then he begins hauling ass away from everybody. It looks like he's retreating.
no.
Is this a legendary
Sentinel.
again?
He is...
Doesn't he have to
Okay.
roll to hit?
Do what?
Doesn't he have to roll to hit to bite?
He didn't bite you.
No, he
it's
didn't
just-
bite you.
Just roleplay.
Foreplay.
So that
Yes.
action is a normal movement. He's only taken half of it so far. But to get away from your attack, because you have Sentinel, it allows you to hit even if you had decided to take a careful retreat, like a disengage, you can still hit him, right? So go ahead and do so.
Yep.
He's not even trying though. He's just hauling ass as fast as he can.
I say,
Trick attack.
let him go.
Do my dogs get opportunity attacks?
Because it's a reaction, she's not going to
Reaction.
get two.
He
But
doesn't
she
get the
could-
bonus attack. Yeah.
Yeah, she could just make a regular attack, no problem.
I'm gonna use a trip opportunity.
Okay. Normal attack first, right? Okay, so it's a hit, and he succeeded on his save. But you still get the extra D8 of damage on it.
Yes, I do.
Was that off the save that Hex was on?
No, he did wisdom instead of strength, unfortunately. That's why I was sad. It's all good, though.
Strahd is leaving a trail of blood behind him as he's retreating. He begins to cling to the sides of the cave, and he is now kind of technically outside of the map. So Jack, he is still within counterspell range, but unless you pursue alone with perhaps Mr. Jeeves, there's really no way to follow him unless you can climb on walls or fly. So if you guys want to pursue, just keep those things in mind. I'm open to whatever you want to do, though.
Let him go. We have to purify the site. I may just take you up on that offer, Straw.
All right.
Fun fact, Eldritch Blast has a range of 120 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So that's Strahd's turn, and it is now Jack's turn. So you can actually still see him. He is up on the wall above the river, on the cavern wall, but you still have a clear line of sight to him.
Oh.
Good. Okay. Eldritch Blast. Quickened Eldritch Blast. That's 4 beams.
Holy crap.
Oh god.
Mike,
I hope you crit with every single one of them.
can we tell if Alex's last attack hurt him?
Oh yeah, he was dripping blood.
He's
as
dripping
he was...
blood, yes.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't
didn't know
even
if that
say
was new or
dripping.
not.
Like there's a trail of blood. It's not dripping. This guy is bleeding.
Oh, God.
All right, so you go. I will let you do the honors of rolling Eldritch Blast 4 attacks on Strahd.
All right.
I hope you crit every single one of them.
Congrats, Hugo.
That's a hit.
Nice.
One.
Keep rolling to hit. We'll do damage after.
That's one.
That's another hit.
Oh,
Nice.
really? 16. All right.
Nice.
That's another
3.
hit.
Okay.
nice.
That's another hit.
21. 4
All
hits.
4 hits.
Oh my god, guys.
Plus he's got Hex.
Yeah.
That's an extra d6 per bolt.
Yeah, so
Really? Are you sure about that?
16,
Absolutely.
14, 16, and 13.
So
Okay.
That's he's dying. That's it.
yeah, Strahd kind of falls off of the cavern he's on and begins crawling his way back to Alexandra, and he stands up. Let me increase the music here.
Wait, is it his turn?
No, it's not his turn, but this is going to happen anyway. All right. You hear Strahd say, "What?" and you feel the ground rumble. Large chunks of ice and small bits of rubble rain down from the cavern ceiling. The once frozen fissure in the ceiling now beams down a single ray of light. Orange glowing cracks in Strahd's flesh begin to appear, and his skin blackens and burns. His form grows larger as giant bat-like wings explode from his back. The flesh of these wings begin to melt away from the bone, and a bloody pool begins to pull up behind him as he stomps heavily towards Alexandra. His claws reach out to you, eager to grip the embodiment of his full hatred. His fangs grow in his howling mouth. His moans of agony and rage sting your ears and rattle through your chest. A step closer, then another. You feel time expand, as if this memory will live with you forever now. Strahd will not take another step. What do each of you do to end Strahd von Zarovich, master of Castle Ravenloft and the realm of Barovia?
Oh, damn.
Alex is gonna wail into him with a.
Arrow to the head.
She's
Actually, no.
going to concentrate all of the sunlight into the whip.
I take that back. That'd be an arrow to the heart.
All right. Elias and
Wow. Behold my true form and despair.
Jack. Yeah, Elias, choose an action as you're going to run up and help finish him off. All four of you will do this together.
Yep.
Okay.
Alexandra is going to concentrate all of her sunlight into the whip and drives Jeeves' arrow all the way in with the sunlight.
Okay, Elias will use the Longinus Spear, and he's going to add Divine Smite to it to add extra damage.
Jack's gonna grab him and hold him for the rest of them.
Hold vampire!
Yeah, the manual
Might even
version
try
of
to
that
fight.
spell.
Christ with me, Elias shouts.
The dance didn't have to end this way, Strahd. You chose this.
Your words can't even be heard over the roar of pain as this creature explodes in a fiery and bloody mess. Suddenly, you realize that you have destroyed the master of Barovia. Strahd von Zarovich lies in pieces at your feet.
Alex is going to take his fangs.
Waste no time.
She's taking his fangs and his heart.
I'm gonna take his
Oh my god. All his remains.
holy shinies.
Yep, let's search the body.
All right, let me
Strahd's
let me see
remains.
what kind of loot he's got on him. His character sheet's so big, so.
Believe me, I've
Wait a second.
You now have his heart, his rib bone, his fingernail, his eyeball.
Alex just took his fangs and his heart. That's all she wanted for the body parts.
Yes, your vampiric hunting career has just met its pinnacle as you realize that Strahd couldn't change forms due to the sunlight that was affecting him, and there was no chance for him to even use his misty escape to get away like powerful vampires might. So you ended it here, so far away from Castle Ravenloft, so far away from his coffin.
What about that creepy heart of the castle that Dracula warned us about?
You are not sure.
I have a really bad feeling this isn't the end.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, you're not sure yet, but at the moment you're pretty dang sure that Strahd is dead.
Okay.
I mean, you're looking at him. He's not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, you guys seem to be taking pieces with you.
Well, what Elias does, he's not like looking at the corpse or taking stuff, or he collapses with emotion, and he doesn't have any words right now.
Alexander feels pretty bad.
He tries to pray in kind of shaky breaths and thank God for blessing him with his victory and for delivering his friends safely through it. And as he's doing this, he's also eyeing the magic circle next to him, and he doesn't know in his mind if he still needs to purify the site or not.
Well, that's all up to you guys.
Alexandra will place a hand on Eliza's shoulder. Please, you have to do it. We
Yes.
came this far.
I agree. It can only be good for the land and for the people. No evil should be left in this land.
I agree. We came this far. Do what we came here to do, Eliza.
All right. Elias places the spear of Longinus that once pierced Christ's side near where Strahd lay, and he goes over to the center of the circle and begins the ritual.
All right. The ritual's going to take about an hour. What are you guys going to do with those fishmen that were trying to scuttle away back to the water?
Oh,
I care not for that.
They're probably pretty scared if we just took out Strahd and help it.
Yeah, well, while you
They're
guys look
about
at
to.
them and consider them, Mr. Jeeves' hellhounds just begin devouring them.
yeah,
By the way,
there you go.
I posted a picture of a sad fish in the Discord channel if you want to know what a sad fish looks like.
So, Jack will
Also-
look to his compatriots and say, "Are you all finished with him?" Indicating Strahd's remains.
I am Jack.
I have taken what I need. Aside from the loot that we had on him.
Because I am not. At which point
Also-
he will step forward.
Oh
Kneel
god, he's
down.
making a Strahd puppet.
And he will... Actually, what he'll have to do at this point is he'll have to cast Resurrect.
On...
Strahd.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Will that work if his heart's not in his body?
Resurrect will. Especially this one.
You sure you want to do that now? There's no time limit on it.
I suppose it can wait.
Yeah, can we purify the site first?
Also, out of character, you guys can do something with Carmela's head if you wanted to.
Yeah, we're probably gonna take
However, Jack will take a piece of him with him.
Okay. There's lots of gory bits on the ground. Most of these bones and things
Some
look
kind
like
of
they've
bone.
shifted from any kind of normal human look to some demonic look.
Doesn't matter, just a bone. Any kind.
Okay. You find a rib.
It gives you plus 10 Constitution.
It's true,
Right.
yeah.
And then Jack's done.
Okay, you're not all the way through the ritual. Did you want to dismiss your pets, Mark?
Yeah, just know the sense of any danger around here. Yeah.
You catch an occasional glimpse of fishmen looking at what has just happened, the historical moment that just happened. But they are not going to engage anyone. They're terrified.
So is this
Yeah.
counting as a short rest?
Yeah, everyone can take a short rest if they'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I can just click my fingers and call them back, so
Right.
I'm good.
Okay. So you're partway through the ritual before you notice teleporting in, just kind of appearing before you, is Dracula. He's alone. And he looks over and instantly finds Carmilla's head. And then
Alex
he looks
will
at
pick it up off the floor and offer it up to him.
and he looks at the destroyed remains of Strahd, and he says, "This is very unexpected." And he holds his hand out to Alexander to accept the remains of his former lieutenant.
I'm sorry we weren't able to save her.
It wasn't your responsibility. She knew the risks of coming in here when she agreed to do it of her own volition. At my request, of course.
Indeed, but a regrettable death nonetheless.
I know not what my powers will be after we leave this land, if we can leave this land. But perhaps I can restore her. This realm traps those who die here. Their souls do not leave. I'm afraid this is also true for Strahd. For the moment, though, this is a great victory, and it will allow us to make progress with my plan. I met a wizard, and he described to me something he found in the castle. And he looks over to Elias, and he looks over to Jeeves and to Jack, and he says, "But introductions first. I am Count Dracula. What you've done here today will greatly increase our risks of escaping this place." And then he kind of looks at everyone as if giving them a chance to say something before he goes off into his technical explanations about what this wizard found in the castle.
Please, is my sister all right?
Lisa is safe. Death itself guards her. She will be returned to Ismark as soon as possible. I believe that Strahd is no longer a threat, at least for the moment, and she should be safe to return home.
So Elias is very absorbed in what he's doing, so that's why I rolled perception. But he does notice and hear and Dracula understand what's going on. He looks up at the Count. First time he's seen him, has no knowledge of this person existing. Knew that there was a powerful vampire behind the scenes doing things for them. And at this moment, he's remaining neutral in his countenance. Not particularly warm, but not hostile either. He says, Elias Asher, man of God and vampire hunter.
I appreciate your tolerance. It's not often that mortals give me much of an audience.
Yes, I would understand so, dear Count, but if you would excuse me, I must purify this site.
You'll find no interruptions from me.
It remains that we do have one more site to purify after that. You said the threat of Strahd is gone, for now. Does that mean you think he would return, even from what we've done now?
There's no way for me to know the intimate details of Strahd's curse. However, I believe that with the way death works in this land, and I am very familiar with death, that he will find a way to become resurrected. Severing these veins of power may prove useful if he does come back. But if I have my way about things, he won't get the chance.
Before his demise, he invited me personally back to the castle.
Yes, where I'm certain that he would have liked to dispose of all of you, or corrupt you, or keep you.
As if I would allow such a thing.
You most certainly did not. But as I was saying, in the castle, the wizard told me that of a giant crystal heart, and he had used spells to analyze and identify its properties. And what he could glean was that the heart brought life to the castle, especially near the heart itself, in the tower where it may be found. It is linked to Strahd in a very intimate and unique way. I believe it's not only linked directly to Strahd's power, but also to the very curse that keeps him in this land. And it is critical that this heart not be destroyed, as although it may be Strahd's greatest defense, I believe it to be our only hope in affecting his curse. With any luck, bringing change to the curse itself might allow travel outside these mists. I must visit this crystal heart, and I must cast a certain spell. It would be greatly appreciated, and I will understand if you wish not to. But if you would accompany me to the castle and cause a distraction for any of his minions that may be left behind while I do what must be done.
At this very moment?
No, at your leisure. I believe that what you've done here will allow us enough time to do this at our leisure.
So it would give us enough time to purify the other site.
Yes, I believe so.
I think severing Strahd's connections with the land is very important. He seems to be bound to it, and it to him. They feed each other power, it seems.
If
And he
was to
seemed
ever
very
return-
determined to stop us from desecrating this.
Yes, very foolishly. I would not have done the same myself. He was too far away from his coffin, too far away from his castle, where his power would obviously be greater. To be so arrogant as to protect a small bit of power at the expense of his life is foolish.
I did give him fair warning.
And he just chuckles and smiles at you. You're very different from your sister, but you have the same look in your eye, the same lack of fear when you look upon me that first affected me so when I met her. I will leave you to your business here at this site.
I have no reason to fear the night, or creatures that inhabit it.
I will not bother Ismark with my presence at their house, even if Lisa allows me in. If my presence bothers him, I will not stay. I will send Malphas to keep an eye on your location, and if you ever wish to find me, he will know where I am. Your sister may be found at Ismark's mansion at my earliest convenience of safely escorting her there.
If it's all the same, Count, please try to persuade him to let. I would feel much safer and much better if she were with you at all times.
I believe this dismal land might know a fraction of peace at the moment.
Do you by chance know if Malphas set about to the task I left?
Malphas recently just met me. I came here as soon as and fast as possible. If he had business elsewhere that you sent him on, he's probably doing that as we speak.
I see.
I'm sure I made it here a lot quicker than he could make it anywhere.
No doubt with your power.
Does anyone have anything to say before I take my departure?
Protect Lisa, please. No matter the cost.
It would be my pleasure.
I hope we shall all meet again soon.
When we do, perhaps the mists will be lifted. I noticed that the sky is still obscured and the mists still reach the edge of the mountains here. You can see a lot from this distance, and we're definitely still trapped.
We may be trapped, but this whip grants me the power of sunlight. Strahd can't hide from that.
I don't believe Strahd can hide from anything at this moment. It would be wise to check on his coffin, though, at your earliest convenience. That's nowhere near the location of the heart, I'm sure. They would not be foolish enough to make something so powerful as close together. So visit his coffin and make sure he's not reforming slowly. And whatever minions he may have there that are powerful, draw them away so that I may do what I must do.
Mike, I'm going to roll for insight on Dracula's intentions.
Sure. He is not deceiving you, so there's no need for me to roll anything otherwise. And you find it a bit awkward that in your time here in Barovia, you've seen so many angels be devils and devils not act so much like devils. With the experience you've gained here and your insight into his mannerisms, the way he talks about Lisa, and just how open he is to speak with you, you have no reason to believe otherwise, but that choice remains yours. Your wisdom is ultimately your own. But from what you can tell, he seems genuine enough. You're just not used to trusting vampires at all.
So seeing that, Elias still doesn't say anything.
No, okay. And you also roll a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's enough, along with your studies before you came here and your association with the Belmont clan. You have been described the vampire that they originally sought to kill, Matthias. This man introduced himself as Count Dracula, but you think that just visually he looks similar to what was described.
Yeah, that's eating away at Elias in the back of his mind, but he's too focused on what he's doing right now to really act on it.
Yep. But
Alex is going to catch up with him as he leaves, out of earshot of the other, just before he leaves, by the way.
The area doesn't really allow for a lot of privacy. He's going to shift forms and then fly out the way he came in. Actually, you know what? Since you guys defeated Strahd and the quake happened, there's now a fissure open in the ceiling that's letting light through it, and that has a far overhead. He'll be able to just go up through there. So he's not really at the edge of anything.
Can she ask him one more question before he leaves?
Sure, and you can ask him quietly if you'd like.
Yeah. I did have one more question, if you would indulge me.
Of course.
She pulls the broken bits of poor Piddlewick II out of her bag and holds them up. I recently lost a friend. I was wondering if you knew if it were possible to restore life and maybe even a soul to a construct.
He looks at the pieces and says, "This isn't simply repairing some sort of magical item. What you need is divine magic. You might be able to resurrect it."
I shall have to seek it somewhere in this land then. Thank you for your time, my lord.
Not that you would take such an option, but if you're willing to sacrifice a life, I could perform this for you.
There is no one here I would be willing to sacrifice for this creature, although he was a dear friend. My other friends are far...
Your other friend's a fart?
Far dearer!
Oh,
Jesus
sorry, it
Christ,
cut out at
Mike.
a bad spot.
A fart dealer.
Yeah,
Yes.
fart dealer. Yes, Dracula says, I was hoping that you would not be willing to sacrifice someone else for something such as this. But if it's any consolation, its soul is probably trapped here just like the rest of us. So it's not that far away from you, if it was that dear.
That does bring some small comfort.
If we manage to escape, though, maybe it will find peace in the afterlife.
I should hope so.
Elias rubs his neck and shakes his head.
And Matthias, please be careful.
I'm sorry, my dear, but you have mistaken me for someone else. And he turns into a bat
She just smirks.
and flies up through the fissure up at the top.
Glad he's okay with sunlight.
She just smirks and shakes her head.
Yeah. Well, I knew everyone just leveled up pretty much just a few episodes ago, but yeah, you guys defeated Strahd and everyone gains a level. The ferryman takes you once the purification ritual is well, I didn't describe the ritual at all, but let me do that now. As Elias is purifying the site, yeah, the symbol on the ground here is as ancient as Strahd himself, and the designs are a mixture of alchemy and divine script. Binding this place to himself in life has carried over into his existence beyond mortality. The curse that made him what he is has tainted the land, as he himself is twisted. And the flowing water here had spared him the dangers that other vampires would face. You have won the chance to cleanse this sacred site and unwind it from the tapestry of Strahd's curse. Whether that is useful now or later, only time will tell. But after the ritual is done, you feel that this place has changed somewhat. There's a spark in the air, and you see a little head, Elias, poke out where you were originally first seeing that fairy. She looks a little bit more comfortable now that there's not so many monstrous creatures around, and no tall vampires.
And the ritual is complete, correct?
Yes, the ritual is now complete.
Okay. Elias will make a friendly gesture towards the creature, and he will say, "Hello. This area is now no longer under a curse. You are free to live your life as you wish."
She flutters out and gets really close to you and gives you a kiss on the cheek, and then immediately darts back into her house.
Aww.
That's great.
That's sweet.
Elias blushes and smiles.
All right, so the ferryman, he will take you if you're willing to go back the way you came. You do see fishmen in the darker recesses of the cavern. They're nowhere close to the river itself, but you see them watching you in the shadows beyond. You know that they will not attack you because they've seen the destruction that you can wrought upon evil today. And you, the first people that you see when you get out is the undead slad zombie that Jack had created, along with a very eager and excited Van Richten and Esmeralda. Emil seems that he's decided to come on down as well. And Van Richten says, "We were worried about you, but when we felt the ground quake and we heard those roars of agony, we can only hope that you have good news."
Good news indeed, Sir Van Richten. Strahd is no more, at least for now.
Then it's done. It's finally done.
It may be done, but I don't have complete comfort yet. Something doesn't sit right with me regarding the castle.
Yes, well, I must admit, our business isn't finished here.
Yes, it is a great victory indeed, however, and the site was purified as well.
I would expect nothing less than to purify the site just in case, but that's not what I speak of. I have a confession to make. Some of you already know this, the most important people do, the most affected by my sins. I brought Lisa to this land as a young child. She was an orphan. She was an orphan when we saved her and her sister from poverty. But her lineage was one that was related to Matthias how you say his last name? Kronqvist?
Kronqvist.
Yeah. Is related to Matthias's wife, who he loved very much.
Elizabeth Ashliagi.
She had a sister, and that sister's lineage ended up in bad times and hardships. The Belmonts discovered that this family still existed, and when the opportunity arose, they took these orphans in, some with good intentions and others like myself, eager to use this knowledge and this blessing that was given to us to our advantage. Alexandra, her sister, was to be trained as a Belmont, just as any other orphan that they would take in, and trained as a vampire hunter with the hopes one day of finding Matthias and slaying him. And Lisa was brought here as a baby and deposited at the base of the mountain of Castle Ravenloft sits upon, to be taken in by the burgomaster there, as we know he was a man of good heart once I had scouted this place and investigated this land. I cast a spell on her that cost me more than anyone here could ever imagine. But much like one of the spells that we had cast before, it cost someone's life. It cost someone's life that was dear to me, a sacrifice that had to be made by someone that was bitten by a vampire that I loved very dearly. And you can see his eyes start welling up with tears. He said that protection was supposed to last a bit longer than it did. And Alexandra's arrival here coincided with it apparently wearing off. I was hoping that Matthias would be lured here somehow with the help of Vistani that can leave this place. We hoped that a fortune teller would be able to give Matthias a fortune reading that would lead him here irresistibly, due to his curiosity about what might have happened to the bloodline of his former love. I am trapped here, as the rest of us are, for all eternity, and I know not if Matthias will ever show up here, or if he had come and something had destroyed him. I know not, but I must remain ever vigilant in my search, in case he ever does show up here. And I will forever dedicate my life to making sure Lisa will always remain safe, as long as Alexandra will allow me to.
Jack will approach him very slowly, but
I got very slowly and you cut out, Jack.
look into his eyes and say, "You're as foolish as you are selfish, old." And then turn away.
What was that? I didn't hear it.
He said, "You're as foolish as you are selfish, old man."
Elias looks like he wants to tell Van Richten what they all just saw down there, but he knows that Alex doesn't want him to do that, and he doesn't know if it would actually help the situation. So he's tossing in his mind what he wants to tell him, but he's not speaking yet.
Yes, but Van Richten does look to you, Elias, and after that comment from Jack, he says, "This is something that Jeeves has known just as long as I have. This is something that Alexandra, I believe, hates me now for, and I have no friends in this land."
As you deserve. Turn and punch G.
Okay. We'll handle that in a second. But Van Richten says to Elias, "As a fellow man of God, am I completely alone, or do you understand that what I did was necessary? That trapping that sort of evil in a place like this. It's best left here, and if it can't be destroyed, at least it can be trapped. Can you understand that bringing someone here and protecting them in hopes that it could lead to the greater good is the right decision to make? Your judgment would make or break me.
That judgment is not mine to make, Van Richten. If it was between you and God, as I know that you sought daily his wisdom on that, I know you did not take this decision lightly. I'm sure you prayed day and night over this. You sought wisdom from above for it, and I would never trample upon that decision from you or from God that it be done. But I myself would never think it would be necessary to take an innocent life as bait, or to lure, or to have some kind of motives in such a way. But I cannot speak from the experience and the horrors that you've experienced in your life, and the very depth of relationship you may have with God in this endeavor. So I doubt that my experience is even close to the breadth of yours in this, my friend. So you still have a friend in me, and even if this is a mistake and it was the wrong thing to do, I know your heart is true, and that you love the Lord, and that you would love to see all evil vanquished. So, no, I do not blame you, sir.
I can only hope that the other half of the Belmonts that tried to prevent what I've done can forgive me as well. But I doubt they will. They never would have allowed this to happen, and they tried to prevent it. It's at that point where you see Jack punch at Mr. Jeeves. Mr. Jeeves, it's a sucker punch. So,
Uncanny dodge it?
well, it depends on... Well, first,
Okay.
Jack needs to make an attack. So, Jack, go ahead and make a... just roll a d20 and add... I'll do the addition. I know your strength and I know your proficiencies, so it's just an unarmed attack. Just roll a d20 and let me know what you get if you have one there in real life.
$15.
Or I think, does our bot in Discord now have a die roller?
I don't know. He said he got a 15.
Oh, a 15. All right. All right, Jeeves, that exceeds your AC, I believe. Let me double check. Your AC is 15.
15.
Yeah. He punches the holy living crap. Uncanny. Is that what you said? Uncanny dodge?
Yep.
That allows you to take half damage, correct?
Yep.
All right. Let me just add this insane strength modifier on here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There's the 25.
Yeah,
Strength.
Mr. Jeeves, you are punched in the gut, all wind knocked out from you for 4 points of damage. But it was a rough sucker punch.
Elias says one more thing to Van Richten.
Well, hold on. Let's see what Jack and Mr. Jeeves has to say.
Oh, okay.
So he still has only like a +5 on his strength check, right?
Jack, you mean?
Yeah.
Jack has more than that.
I thought +5 was the max.
Fantasy Grounds disagrees.
Okay.
This is... You're talking about like a natural ability. This is a supernatural ability.
Okay.
Yeah, naturally you can't bring yourself up above 20, but this gift that he's accepted works like a specific magic item with a specific strength bonus.
He has magic muscle.
Yes, he has magic muscles. But Mr. Jeeves, what would you like to do or say? Or both?
Man, I don't think there's anything I can say.
Yeah, Van Richten kind of sold you out there in front of everybody.
Yep. Although I didn't. Yeah, I didn't expect that. So yeah. Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, anything else from you? No? Okay. Brent, did you want to say anything else to Van Richten after that punch?
Yeah, so Elias just kind of smiles and shakes his head at the exchange behind him. But he says to Van Richten, he motions toward Esmeralda and he says, "You also have a friend in her as well, correct?"
Esmeralda says, "If it was up to me, he would have never had me come back here. But I will always keep an eye on this old man. I know the sacrifices he's made. And whether he's right or wrong, he's always had the best intentions for everyone. His sins are not my sins, though."
Well, I'd say if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for Esmeralda, and I know that she is a woman that seeks to destroy evil as well with a good heart. So I think you're in good company and you have good friends, Van Richten. Do not despair.
I don't see why I'm not the one getting punched in the gut, but I would like to count Jeeves as a friend too, but he was definitely more reluctant with this plan. And he respected the Belmonts that asked this of him more than I have ever earned respect from him.
I would respect any distance and certainly understand if they felt that way, Jeeves and Alexandra. What happened?
I turned the music off.
Oh, I was like, oh, did I lose everybody? Ah.
No, it was battle music, and we're long past that, so.
Gotcha.
All right, Emil says, "Look, Strahd or not, it's time we pay a visit to the werewolf encampment. Jack, are you still with me? I need to go home."
Without question.
All right. Well, with that, guys, I think we will wrap it up unless anyone has any the last minute things to do here in game before we close up.
Level up.
We can do that.
I guess the fishmen will find some other means of employment.
Yeah.
Fishman gonna fish.
Oh man.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're out of character now. So, yeah, guys, I had 3 outcomes prepared. Where if you defeated Strahd, if you defeat him but he gets to retreat and gets away, or if you guys get defeated. And out of all that I expected to happen, this was the least one. So I can't believe you guys did it. As far as a normal Curse of Strahd campaign would go, you guys had just basically beat the game, you could say. We can continue to play, of course, and I'd like to, because there's a few things left undone.
Yep.
So let's do them, but there's going to be a clear end to this campaign, and you guys have just moved that a lot closer than I thought we were going to be at.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because, I mean, Strahd's not going to be at the other sacred site to fight you, and his castle is not going to be much of a issue for such high-level PCs without the master of the castle harassing them at every corner.
Do you think we would get another level before we finish the campaign?
I would say finishing the campaign gives you a level, but I don't have plans to extend beyond this campaign with this.
Not purifying the other site and dealing with the werewolf?
That's,
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
level.
that's a good half of it. But
There's
you
some-
guys just leveled up twice, like within a few
Yeah.
sessions, and you're pretty high
Well,
level.
we were hitting milestones, and that's how you,
you
did
are
it. So.
you are hitting milestones, and yes,
There is still unfinished business I would like to take care of too, like taking the dragon bones back to Argynvost Holt.
Exactly.
Because we can do that now that Strahda's not a problem. We can actually get to the bones. But his castle seems pretty dangerous still. to
sure.
me.
Keep in mind, this adventure was it was written for certain level PCs, and it's just a little extra work on me if I've got to adjust it. But if I want to make everything more difficult, and that's kind of unfair to you guys. If I just make everything more difficult because you got better, that's not a reward. That's not worth leveling up.
True.
One
So I,
disagrees.
So these sacred sites, they were not part of the adventure. They're all completely from me.
Oh.
The ideas behind them were inspired by Expedition to Castle Ravenloft, when Strahd actually had something like that in that story. I always liked that, so I brought it to this game too. So as far as milestones go for those, I may have used those as an example before, but ultimately, when it comes to milestones and where I think you guys need to be, I've never tried this milestone thing before. It was an option with Curse of Strahd, and it has its bonuses and it has its negatives. I think experience-wise, honestly, I think you guys are a little bit more leveled than you would be if I wasn't using milestones. So I think you're getting the better end of the deal now. So to ask for more and more and more, I mean, it's just gonna bloat your characters, and you're not gonna have earned it the way I think that you really would feel like you earned it. So
I don't think she was asking for more. I think she was asking if this is our last level up.
oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it depends on how long this campaign goes on. If you guys would like knock out the next sacred site, go to Castle Ravenloft and deal with what's going on there, I can describe the outcomes of successful campaign after that. Like, if you wanted to take the dragon, I can tell you out of combat. We don't have to go to those places and visit them for me to describe anything that you want closure on. I can just do those. I mean, the game's not won yet, but you guys are close, and I can't say whether or not there's room in here for leveling. It depends on what you choose to do first. If you want to go out and do every little thing in the world first, then sure, there's a level or two to be had. If you just want to go and do what I think it takes to complete the game, you could not level up at all until the very end.
That's about what I figured.
Yeah, and
He must do everything.
yeah, and I mean, let's look at this this big map again, and you point at that map and tell me where you haven't been, because you guys have been everywhere. You guys have done all sorts of good stuff throughout this land. From corner to corner of the map, you've been taking care of business everywhere.
Wow, yeah.
We haven't actually been up to Mount Baratok.
That's true, but there's the base of Mount Baratok is also considered to be at the bottom of Lake Zarovich. That mountain is more like a range, so it's not just where that's directly pointing to. So at the base of that mountain is kind of where you guys found Mordenkainen on the other side of the lake.
We also still have to find the last stone to return to the winery.
That's true.
I need to get my knife as well.
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah,
already
we
my
have
fault.
to get the dragon bones to get that, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have one of the stones in my inventory still.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that needs to be delivered to the winery.
The winery, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of little things to do to take care of.
I think the big unresolved thing to me is Dracula and his business here with wanting to use chaos to remove the curse.
My intention for this whole campaign and the inspiration behind it was to answer a few key questions about how we get from Lament of Innocence to Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. And I would like to remain within canon at the end of the game. So that's just my outcome that I want. You guys are, this is your thing. You've invested so much time into this. I'm not going to force my ending that I want. So if you guys want to fight Dracula and all that good stuff, that's fine. But if you're curious to know how Dracula meets Lisa and they have a kid that's Alucard and all that, it would be a little bit harder for me to do if you kill him,
I still have a creepy mobile that I have to deliver to baby Alucard, so no, we're not killing Dracula.
Well, I would hope not, but it's on the table if Elias wants to go vampire slaying and Dracula be the true end of this. One of the things in Lament of Innocence at the end, you don't get a Dracula fight. You fight a powerful vampire, and death is the final boss.
Yeah, death.
Yeah, so in this, you fought a very powerful vampire. In D&D, he is the most powerful vampire, the most legendary vampire, and you guys just kicked his ass, to be quite honest.
We just wiped the floor with him.
We hardly have any wound points from that.
Alex took a good chunk, but
I mean, if it was in Castle Ravenloft, it'd be a different story, and if you had better minions, it would have been a better story. But I mean, he tried to polymorph Alexandra into a turtle, and I'll let everybody use their inspiration. That would have morphed the Sun Whip into being part of her, like the whip and all of her items and stuff go with her into the polymorph. And then the fishmen were just supposed to go and grab that damn turtle and take it away. So that didn't happen.
I would have been a sun turtle. You would have been able to throw me at his face.
Well, there wouldn't have been any sunlight at that point.
Well,
so.
even if that had happened to Alexandra and the sunlight was taken away, Elias's holy symbol can produce sunlight too. The snorkel can do that.
No, it can't. It literally says sunlight.
Yes, sir.
Sunlight. Okay. God. Okay.
We also need to put all of Strahd's items, whatever he had on him, in the party chat and divvy.
Yeah, I was looking for that, and I didn't find a single item listed on him, which is silly because he at least has a longsword, right?
No, actually, the longsword was with his armor, which we took at the castle, and I have that in my Strahd's great sword.
Well, he cut off Carmilla's head with something, so
yeah,
that sword isn't just gonna not be there.
Backup sword.
Yeah, if he's got a castle, I'm pretty sure he's got a sword.
Yeah. Anyways, what was I saying?
I had a backup plan, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Strahd was, I thought, well prepared. He was gonna have either polymorph or hold person make it to where she could be disarmed, and that did not happen. So with true sunlight, Strahd is much less difficult because he can't even retreat into his shapeshifted forms if he's in sunlight. So that's what did it for you guys. The sunlight is definitely what did it. Otherwise, he would have been a much more difficult foe. And if he was in Ravenloft, he's got layer actions in addition to the legendary actions he was already using.
Praise the sun!
So yeah, Jack using those Eldritch Blasts and hitting every single one, that did it. That was the end-all be-all of it. And Strahd was just trying to get 60 feet or so away from him, so he was out of the sunlight and could use a spell that he had prepared to help him get out of there. None of that happened because Jack got him.
Yeah, and congrats to Hugo for rolling the attacks that killed him.
Yeah, amazing rolls. But it was Jack's idea to do so, and it was his turn. But yeah,
good call and good roll.
I thought
I made a great team.
Yeah, I really thought that Strahd would have been more of a challenge, but that's what I hear, man. When it comes to other people playing this game, Strahd will either destroy you, or he will just be a pushover.
Well, it could have gone either way. Like, if the stupid cleric fish had managed to keep its hold on Alex, then yeah, we would have been fine. Thankfully, my wisdom roll was high enough the second time around.
Yeah, I think encounters like this are very volatile. Like it can go any way very quickly, but it just happened to work out like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had three ways this could have gone, and it went in the craziest way, man. Well, the second craziest way. You guys don't want to know what would have happened if you lost. That would have been horrifying. But you didn't. You prevailed, and you earned this victory. You guys, as far as I'm concerned, have beat the game in the most important way possible. So, congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, so now we're on a clear file, and we can just do the side quests if we want to.
Well, no, there's the finale that has to happen.
Yeah, he made it seem like we weren't done yet, dude. So
yeah, you definitely need to make sure Strahd's done for. Yeah, go make sure Strahd's done for, and he didn't leave that castle empty. There's things in there that would attempt to rule in his stead. Until he gets back, anyway.
And the land is still under the curse, so that's not good.
Yeah, the land did not release you, so...
we have to make sure we can leave.
We are heading to the forest next, though.
Probably, yeah.
So we can get Jack's story and done and his potato out of his inventory.
Oh, yeah, that thing's been growing eyes. It's in there so long, so... Yeah, next stop is the woods. And I think that I'd just like to take a little extra time to build the level. I didn't know it would be so quick after this. I mean, I knew it was coming, but we've had these nice little side-scroller things. They do take a lot of time for me, but I would like to... I'll see what I can do within the span of a week. I've got an idea. I'll try to make it work.
I always thought that's the best part.
What, the side-scrollers?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
When the voices, when the voices are heard, yeah.
We could do other stuff on the way there. That would be fun.
Well, I think that... Yeah, I mean, you could. The stuff on the way there that's directly on the route there, maybe not.
Not much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's Argynvost that you guys will pass by.
We need the bones from the castle first to do that.
I mean, that dagger's there, whether the bones are or not, but yeah.
True.
Yeah, but we don't want to have to kill the revenants that are in there.
Yeah, we want them to rest if we can.
You mean the ones with the knights and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left him alone. I think you guys were just scared, to be honest, but...
Alright.
I was a little scared. Yeah.
I was even a little scared, and I only listened.
That dude looked badass.
I'm rolling for my HP, so...
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and level up. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'll upload it to YouTube.
Ooh, Mac! Yes!
I thought it already stopped. Oh, okay.
Nope. All right. Good night, Twitch.
Bye-bye.